Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here joined from Carl from the Moon, and has an excellent cryptocurrency channel. He talks about trading in Bitcoin. Right? He's mostly focused on Bitcoin. I think he doesn't like other cryptocurrencies, but we're going to talk about that in a moment. I love his channel. I watch it every single day, right? Whenever I can. Of course, on this vacation, I didn't have much chance to watch all the videos, but I did watch them.
We can just talk instead, right?
Exactly. I know. I can just talk to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
VIP access.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Carl, how you doing here in Dubai?
I'm doing very, very well. It's amazing to be here with you because I've been following you also because even before I met you, I knew about you and your history, and I thought it was very fascinating. So I thought it was amazing to meet you over a year ago, like maybe even 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And now we're hanging out here in Dubai, having amazing time, and yeah, very, very good times now. I think I'm so excited for Bitcoin. I'm excited for all the new friends and new connections I'm making here, and yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm having an excellent time here in Dubai. It's just beautiful. The weather's great. The people here are great. They're very hospitable, and it's the safety is unparalleled. You could leave $100,000 in the cab and they will not steal it. No one will steal it. They'll find you and give it back to you. It's unbelievable. And so I'm even considering moving down here. Right? It's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I love the tax incentive here,
yeah,
like the harsh tax of 0.
Yeah, right.
That works for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dubai is a place for innovation and technology. Many people move here.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Carl, I would love to know how you experienced Bitcoin. What was the first thing you did when you saw Bitcoin, or how did you actually get into Bitcoin actually?
Yeah, so before I went into Bitcoin, I already was very interested in the monetary system. I was interested in the banking system, and I was a gold bug, as you call them, just like yourself. I was reading up about gold, silver, how that form of money is better than the credit system we use today, and I was reading about the Federal Reserve and how that works and how it's all a scam, how the banks are robbing us each day. So I had all of this previous knowledge because of me being in the gold space, and it was the exact knowledge I needed to understand Bitcoin when I first heard about it. So for me, Bitcoin actually was easy to digest because I understood the importance of having a scarce supply of something, and also having something that you cannot change. Like, you don't have to trust anyone. I mean, with a central bank or with a commercial bank, you have to trust these banks not to dilute the supply. We have to trust them that they don't mess with your transactions, and they can see all of your transactions. Then they can tell you what you can and cannot do. And like, I just realized that Bitcoin solves these problems in a very, very fascinating way. And not only that, also the fact that Bitcoin is so divisible. This is something we've never seen before. Like, we've never seen a money so divisible that you can narrow it down to a Satoshi. Even you can even go lower than a Satoshi.
Exactly, it's infinite basically.
Yeah, it's infinite. So that, I mean, Bitcoin has so many interesting properties, and for me it was very fascinating. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it took me just like 1 or 2 hours of research to realize that this is very interesting. Obviously I needed more research to confirm this, but I was hooked from the beginning, and I started to watch videos all the time on YouTube. I started to read, and I started to find as much information as possible. Yeah, I got super excited. I got very nerdy, and that's when I started to also read up more about the monetary system. Because before Bitcoin, I was reading a lot about it, but after Bitcoin, I got almost obsessed with reading more about how everything works and how Bitcoin can solve these problems for us. So, but yeah, ever since I found out about Bitcoin, I stopped buying gold. I didn't sell my gold. I still have it, but ever since that day, I just realized that Bitcoin is the way to go. Bitcoin has much more upside potential, and I think that gold has been the best form of money for thousands of years. It will continue to be a good form of money. It will continue to be a store of value. But now, in a digital world, I believe we need a digital money. and you have to make the choice. Do you want the bank's digital money, or do you want the people's digital money, which is Bitcoin? And for me, it's the obvious choice to go to Bitcoin. And I think that increasingly we will see more and more people waking up to the power of Bitcoin. So yeah, for me, I come from the monetary perspective. It's not like I'm a programmer or so. I come from the monetary perspective, and I think it's fascinating with Bitcoin because you can come from many different perspectives. Either you're a computer nerd and you like the programming, the technicals of Bitcoin, or you come from the monetary side, or maybe some political side. There are many different angles here that comes together.
I'm quite interested. You said you did a lot of reading. I'd like to know what kind of books that you did read about, and maybe I can learn more. Because I'm a student of the market. I always want to learn more. I want to grow more. So I'm sure our audience would like to hear what kind of books you read.
So in terms of the monetary system, after the financial crisis, 2011, 12, 13, that's when I was watching some videos on YouTube, getting into it. And I think that probably the best comprehensive set of videos was from Mike Maloney. He has this Hidden Secrets of Money. It's a great little compilation of videos going basically from A to Z, like how the bank works and how money works, what is money, what is not money, all of that. It's very, very valuable information, and I already kind of had the knowledge before, but I think it's a very nice little package he made there. Mike Maloney has an interesting book also called Gold Silver. I read that one. I think it's very interesting information.
I read that one as well.
Yeah. And I also met what's his name, G. Edward Griffin in Mexico. He wrote a book called Creature from Jekyll Island. I didn't read the book, but I watched many presentations from him talking about the book, like hours of material, and he's very, very intelligent. He has a great understanding of the monetary system. I would say go check out his videos or read his book. I've heard that his book is very dense. It's a lot of information.
Yeah, it is hard to get through.
It is, yeah.
It is hard to get through. But when I finished that book, man, my mind was blown away. And actually, I was like, oh my God, I understand how all the world works in finance. And I was like, I almost like lost my mind because I couldn't believe that this was the case. It was just like, no way. Not only did they control the financial system, what they did was they went on to control the educational system, so that you would not learn about all this system, how this system works. Because they didn't want you to learn, because then you'd know that the truth. Because Ford once said, if the American people ever understood our financial system, there'd be a revolution by tomorrow morning. And it's true. Can you imagine if the banks were just like taking the money out of your account as you're working, right? They're going, okay, that's ours, sorry, just because. And you have it in your pocket, they'd be able to take it out of your pocket directly, just because they have the right to it. That would be unfair, right? Yeah. Well, that's what they have. Yeah. They have a right to take your money right out of your pocket without you noticing. Yeah. And that is so sad. Anyways, Carl, I would also like to know, how did you start your channel, YouTube channel?
Yep. So I started my channel in the beginning of 2018 or middle 2018, and so when I learned about Bitcoin, I understood the value of it. I realized this will change the world. This will become a huge thing that everyone is going to talk about. And of course, I put basically all my money into Bitcoin. Back then, I didn't have any huge amounts of money, but I put everything into Bitcoin. And I realized that it's not enough for me to just put my money into Bitcoin. I want to create a business out of Bitcoin. I want to have a career depending on Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin becomes huge, then if I have a career in Bitcoin, then I can also become huge, and I can educate people, and I can basically make money from something that I love doing. So I thought making a YouTube channel could make a lot of sense, and also create websites and all of these things. And this YouTube channel that I have called The Moon grew very quickly to become one of the biggest YouTube channels, and I think that I'm having so much fun with the process. And when I started out, I just sat down and I figured, let's just try to make a few videos, and immediately I just saw some views coming in, and people liked my videos, and people were commenting, and I realized I'm onto something here. and I was talking about the monetary system, I was talking about Bitcoin, I was talking about some technical analysis, where's Bitcoin going and all these things. And I think that I just really love Bitcoin. I really love YouTube, making videos. It's like I'm combining the best of two worlds, and I really think that we have the best job in the world, because not because we're on YouTube, but because we're doing something we really enjoy doing, and we're helping people, right?
Exactly.
I think it's amazing. So waking up every morning, having this amazing opportunity to make videos about something such revolutionary as Bitcoin, knowing that everyone who buys Bitcoin based on me will basically like be saved from this monetary system. Because if you have money in the bank, you're in the claws of the banking system. You're a slave to the credit system, and opting out of that is it's a big step. Now you don't have to put everything into Bitcoin, but just having a little bit of Bitcoin, I think is very reasonable, because it's the only way you can actually hold it in your hand. The money is to be in your hand. Keeping money in the bank it's actually not even your money. The bank takes this money and lends it out to other people, and then you can have 10 up to 30, maybe even 100 people having the same claim to $1 bill in the bank. So if everyone goes to the bank and they want to withdraw the money, then obviously only a couple percent maybe can withdraw the cash. So the banking system is a big Ponzi scheme, and that's why I think Bitcoin is so revolutionary and so interesting, that we can just buy Bitcoin and we can now we can hold it in our hand, or so to speak. I mean, it's in our digital wallet, but it's very similar to gold in that way.
Interesting. I would like to know, how did I can guess, but I want you to tell me, how did you come up with a name for your channel?
Yeah. So I was looking at all the other channels on YouTube. I think I was trying a couple of other names. I was trying like Crypto Carl or Crypto something else, and Bitcoin not something. But when I looked at all the other YouTube channels, that was the exact name everyone else had. They were either Crypto this or Crypto that, or Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. And I don't know, I just wanted to do something a little bit more special, something a little bit more interesting and unique, something that you can remember me by. And the moon, I mean, I think we all know that Bitcoin is going to the moon, and that's where it came from. So it is still relevant for crypto. It's just that mainstream people outside of crypto, they have no clue why it's called the moon. They are very confused. But in crypto, I think everyone understands. So that's where it comes from.
All right, awesome. Now I want to talk about price predictions, but we talked about on your channel price predictions for next year. But I want to do something grander, something bigger overall. If Bitcoin becomes all the money in the world, right? What price do you think it would be? I think price would have in dollars would have no objective meaning. So let's say something that some people would like to buy.
What is the value of Bitcoin?
Exactly. Yeah. What would it be the value of? Now, considering that the total money supply, the US dollar money supply is $90 trillion, including M1, M2, M0, M1, and M2, right? Also, all the debt in the world is $300 trillion, right? And because we want to include the debt, why is that? Because on large corporate balance sheets, they hold debt notes because they don't want to lose out to inflation. So they need to be able to store their wealth in something that's increasing over time, because they know that, hey, central banks will be taking money out of their pockets. Yeah. So if they have to replace all those debt notes and all that money, if that all gets replaced and it now goes into Bitcoin, how much do you think a normal size house, an average size house in the United States, goes for about $300,000 right now? So I know you might have to do a little bit of thinking, right? But you know what? It's just a fun guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't try to if you don't have to be accurate. Of course,
just like I think that, I mean, just like off of the top of my head, I think that 0.2 Bitcoin, you can probably buy an amazing villa in the future in most countries. So 0.2 Bitcoin, that's all you need today to probably buy a nice house in the future. But more specifically in terms of like dollars and price value, like you said, $90 trillion. That's the value of the money or
US
the
dollars.
fiat. Yeah. No, I think the US dollar is smaller. This is all
fiat. Yeah, you're right.
Fiat.
You're right. It's all fiat.
Yeah, and like you say, if we can see Bitcoin take over this market cap, then this would put Bitcoin at approximately $4 to $5 million or so. And $5 million is a figure I talk about a lot. I do believe that Bitcoin can go to $5 million in today's money, in today's value. So essentially, when this happens, if this happens, one Bitcoin's price will be probably $5 quadrillion or quintillion or something. It's because it's not going to matter, because the dollar itself will be worthless. But in today's value, so I really truly believe so. So the value of Bitcoin, if you can buy, for example, a luxury yacht today for 5 million, then what I'm saying is that in maybe 20-30 years you will be able to buy a huge luxury yacht for 1 Bitcoin. So price and value are two different things, of course. But like you said, there is maybe an even bigger addressable market for Bitcoin. We can look at all the debt in the world. We can also take a look at real estate, for example. Real estate and stocks, because we can see that in today's world, when we have huge inflation and uncertainty in terms of the currency we're using, people get pushed into storing their wealth other than cash. So they get pushed into stocks, they get pushed into real estate to store wealth where the inflation goes in their favor instead of against them. So this is interesting, because this means that there are potentially trillions of dollars out there in real estate, for example, because the total real estate market is 300 trillion. Potentially maybe 10%, maybe 20% of these people are only holding real estate as a store of value. They are not buying the house to live in. Some people maybe don't even have a big business plan of renting it out. They bought it because it's a store of wealth. We see it in many different countries like China and other big cities, where rich individuals, they buy apartments and they're completely empty. No one is living there. They just buy it because they have to, because otherwise they lose.
Exactly.
It's to go outside of risk, basically. And I think the interesting thing here is that if these people knew that there is a safer place to put their money in terms of third-party risk, and a more liquid way to put their money, where you can sell from like one day to the other easily, then they would be interested, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
because selling a villa, I mean, you're selling your house. It takes time.
Yes, it does.
It's not like you can just sell it. It's not. You cannot day trade a villa, right?
No, you can't.
It's very hard.
Yeah, maybe in the future we might be able to
tokenize. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, so the problem is that real estate is not so liquid, and Bitcoin is this store of value that is super liquid, super quick to send, no third-party risk. So what I'm saying here is that there is an addressable market out there that some people might not really understand. Potentially trillions of dollars that could also flow into Bitcoin when we see the monetary system further collapsing. So if we see a big real estate crisis, like, where will these people put their money? Sure, gold is also a very, very good place to put their money, but I think that Bitcoin will be this alternative, this wild card that people didn't know about, and this is what can potentially put Bitcoin at $5 million, but even higher than this. We're talking about astronomical figures here, and obviously it's not guaranteed that this is going to happen. You could even argue it's unlikely it's going to happen, but I think it's possible. And
yes,
the risk-reward ratio, that's what I'm looking for here. Like, if you, let's say you put in $1,000 into Bitcoin, you can never lose more than $1,000. But what happens if Bitcoin goes up 500x from here? Well, you can only lose 1,000, but you can potentially gain 500,000. So the ratio between the risk and the reward is fantastic compared to real estate, compared to stocks, compared to gold even. And that's why I am 97% into Bitcoin. I have a little bit of fiat just for daily expenses. Actually, I'm even like 98% to even 99% now, because I liquidated more cash. So I'm fully invested into Bitcoin. So
what's your estimated percentage of this happening? I know this video is getting a little bit long in the tooth, but I'm sure you're enjoying this content, and if you are, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe whilst you're at it, and the bell with the all symbol. And yeah, so I would like to know, what is your ratio, what percentage do you think that Bitcoin will take over as money? Just give us a ballpark. It doesn't have to be correct, of course, but just for fun?
Just for fun. That's a very interesting question. I mean, take over as money in the world.
Yeah.
I would love to say 80% or something, but maybe it's not that certain. Maybe it is 50-50 or something. But that's already a very, very high certainty.
Yes, those are good odds.
Those are very good odds. I mean, most people would probably say like 4% or something like maybe banks will never let it happen, governments will never let it happen. But I think this is inevitable. I think trying to stop Bitcoin is like trying to stop the tide from happening. You can maybe push it up for some time, but eventually water flows whatever water wants to flow. And I think the free market will decide what is the best money in the world, and the free market will decide where does the confidence go. Are you confident that the dollar will hold value, or are you confident that the Bitcoin will hold value? What's most useful? Is gold more useful than Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin more useful? All of these things will be tested by the free market, and I am confident that the free market will most likely eventually decide that Bitcoin is the best form of money in the world. We need a second layer solution to make Bitcoin quicker and cheaper, but I think this is something that will be developed. And obviously 5 million or whatever, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not even going to happen within 10 years in my opinion. I think 20-30 years maybe. So this is not like a get rich quick thing. It's rather buy now, be safe for the future. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. If you hold fiat, you will for sure get slowly over time. Holding Bitcoin, you will most likely get rich over time.
Exactly. Well, I have one more question for Carl, because I know it's getting long, but I have to ask this question. Is Bitcoin the only answer? Do you buy any other cryptocurrencies? Do you think the other ones will make it? Which one's your favorite, or which one's your least favorite? Any of those?
Well, I can just tell you, like, I hold some Ethereum, so you could maybe say that's my favorite because it's my second biggest holding after Bitcoin. And I'm very skeptical of altcoins, because just like back in the .com boom, we saw internet being the revolution, right? And then there were so many different companies coming out. Every single week there were another company coming out with a .com. Most of these .coms, like 95% of them, are gone. They were gone long time ago. They will never be profitable businesses because it was just hype. And just like having a .com back then instantly made you a lot of money, today it's the same with altcoins. As long as you say that you have an altcoin, you have a DeFi project or something, instantly people will throw money to you. And that's a big risk, or it's a big warning sign to me.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing is going to happen with crypto, that most of these altcoins will go to zero. And of course there are altcoins out there that will probably be able to have sustainable use cases in the future. It's just that I think it's very hard to see them right now. And I think the risk reward in Bitcoin is just much better, because the risk is very, very low in my opinion, because Bitcoin is already functioning perfectly as a store of value, exactly as it was intended to be. And for it to become perfect money, we also just need a secondary solution. I think we're gonna get there very soon. And I think Bitcoin is already ready for the market to do what it was intended to do. The altcoins are not. That's why I hold Bitcoin for the most part. I hold a small fraction of my portfolio in altcoins just to have exposure to it. But I think that Bitcoin is the way to go. Bitcoin is the only crypto that is actual money. The altcoins, they can do other things than Bitcoin, but they will never, ever, in my opinion, exceed Bitcoin in terms of being money. That will just not happen, in my opinion.
Okay, excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I certainly did. I love talking with Carl, and I get to talk to him all this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again here in Dubai or in our next adventure, wherever. I think you also stay in Copenhagen, right?
Exactly.
Yes, as well. So maybe there as well. Hopefully we can meet up there. Anyways.
And also we recorded another video where I interviewed Davinci, and he talked about his background. I guess most of you already know it, but I think it was a very interesting video. I will upload it on my channel.
Excellent. Yeah, so check out his channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe on his channel for his video as well. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.